Greetings, YouTube people, Beatle people, monkey people, music people, people all over this great big world of ours. Welcome to Ringo's Ramble number 4. And if it's anything like the previous 3 rambles, it'll probably go viral. So just remember, you saw it first, you lucky people, something to tell the grandchildren about. Now, last week I was commemorating the rather sad anniversary of the untimely death of the genius Buddy Holly. This week, on a lighter note, we've got some other anniversaries to note. The Beatles met the Monkees in London. The Beatles recorded The Day in the Life. 4 years earlier, only 4 years, and it seemed like a world away. 4 years earlier, the Beatles recorded the bulk of their Please Please Me album, their debut album. Got that to commemorate. We've also got St. Valentine's Day coming up, when we commemorate mobsters shooting each other. So I thought, with all those anniversaries coming together, I'd sing a little love song. A little Beatles love song would be appropriate. So I've nodgered me cord wangle and had a gander in me ditty bag, and I came up with this. You'll never know how much I really love you. You'll never know how much I really care. Listen, do you wanna know a secret? Do you promise not to tell? Whoa, whoa, closer. Let me whisper in your ear. Say the words you long to hear. I'm in love with you. Listen, do-da-do. Do you wanna know a secret? Do-da-do. Do you promise not to tell? Do-da-do. Oh, closer. Do-da-do. Let me whisper in your ear. Say the words you long to hear. I'm in love with you. I've known a secret for a week or two. Nobody knows, just we two. Listen, do you wanna know a secret? Do you promise not to tell? Whoa, whoa, closer. Let me whisper in your ear. Say the words you long to hear. I'm in love with you. Thank you. One of my favourite little songs, sung by George, of course, from the Please Please Me album. Simple little tune, but a good one nonetheless. I think Billy J. Kramer released that as a single. Now, talking about the Beatles and thinking about the Beatles, I recently reread this little biography by Hunter Davies, which was the first, I don't know if you can see that very clearly in this very primitive webcam of mine. This was the authorized biography, written around the time of the recording of Sgt. Pepper and the White Album. John was still with Cynthia at the time of writing. It's one of the more personal biographies of the Beatles. I'm sure you've all read lots of them. If you haven't read this one, I would advise you to do so. It is very interesting. He skirts around the more contentious issues. Lennon accused the book of being a whitewash. I'm not sure that's entirely fair. It's nice to see the Beatles at work, writing songs like It's Getting Better, for example. It's nice to see inside the recording studio and details like that. And it captures the spirit of the Beatles' story because although it was written before they finally fell apart, you get the sense that they're going to fall apart, or perhaps that's 2020 hindsight, who can say. But the first parts of the book, dealing with their childhood and school and going to Hamburg, they're not boring, but they're slow and ponderous, shall we say, and in a good way, in a storytelling way. But once you get into the Beatlemania era, then almost every paragraph is dealing with a different subject or a different event. Suddenly, the book speeds up and captures the excitement of that particular phase of the Beatles. And then as the touring stops and they settle down to their home life and recording, etc., the pace slows down again. It's a fascinating book. I definitely recommend it. Not an in-depth review, I admit, but that's not the point of Ringo's Rambles. And there is a more recent edition than this one, came out a few years ago with a very tasteful black and white photograph, not unlike the cover of With the Beatles, used as the cover. It's a nice complement to Philip Norman's book, Shout. I mentioned his Buddy Holly biography last week. So I think that's all I'm going to do this week for Ringo's Rambles. I hope you all have a nice weekend, wherever you are. I know the weather's crazy at the minute. It's snowing in England. It's foggy and misty here. It's mild in North America, apparently, spring-like. Siberian levels of icy cold in parts of Europe, and snowing in the Sahara, according to the news last night. So the overall temperature of the planet is more or less what it should be. It's just that the temperatures are all sort of screwed up all over the place. So I hope you have a nice and safe weekend. I hope you enjoy whatever music you're listening to over the weekend. I hope you get lots of Valentine's cards. I'm sure the postman will be bringing a sack full to my door as usual. Poor man. Probably need to take a couple of days off work to help his back get better after that. So, until next time, folks, Rambling Ringo signing off, and all the best. Bye for now.